They called Earth the Kaizone world, little more than a fringe system, long ago admitted into the intergalactic accord, but never taken seriously. From the capitals of the accord, humans were exotic, quaint, underfunded allies whose fleets were token at best, whose technologies were adapted rather than cutting edge, and whose culture was considered unpredictable, sentimental, even reckless. The alien diplomats often made a mild show of courtesy, but not much more. The humans, for their part, accepted the role, quietly proud but constrained, knowing always that one day they would show they were not to be dismissed. In the quiet dawn of the orbital station Aurelia, Commander Mara Isel awoke to the soft hum of ion drift engines and the distant chorus of maintenance drones. She lay still for a moment, listening to the nearly inaudible vibrations in her bunk's frame, letting the quiet settle around her. She had learned to love beginnings like this, before the bustle, before reports, in that liminal span when everything is possible and nothing has yet been demanded. She rose, stretched limbs that felt heavier than they should, then moved across the cabin to a viewport. Outside, the pale blue arc of Earth glowed against the black. A single solar array flared in gentle reflection. Somewhere down there, her home world, insecure to the rest of the galaxy but full of stubborn heart, she prepared simple tea in a replicator, sat at a narrow table, and unrolled the morning telemetry logs. There were the usual drift anomalies, minor flux in the plasma conduits, communications, low Y-level noise. Nothing to worry about, not yet. The war fronts elsewhere demanded the attention of the Accord's flagship fleets. Earth Station was a satellite among satellites. In the corridor beyond her cabin, a technician's soft voice drifted by, speaking of shields dropping 2% across Sector Theta and the Sarloth fleet massing near the border of the Zarin expanse. Mara set her cup aside and stood. That was interesting, she thought. More than interesting. Possibly urgent. Moments later, she walked into the command deck. The room was wide and calm, pale panels, slow-moving displays, soft lighting. Lieutenant Eric, her second, rose from a console. His face was calm but alert. They exchanged a nod. "We picked up something," he said, voice quiet. "Late report from the edge gates. Something moved within the diffuse nebula. The sensors caught something anomalous, a ship signature that does not match any known design in the Accord's register. It's small, agile, almost stealthy." He tapped a screen. A dim ghost of a blip, erratic movement. It darted through sensor fields, avoided patrols. Last seen entering the black fringe corridor toward the Zarin border. Mara's pulse stirred. "Is it hostile? Friend? Alliance?" she asked. "No match. No transponder. But the trajectory suggests intent toward Delta Zone. It might be probing. Could be a new raider, or a scout for the Sarloth." Arik's fingers hovered. "The regional fleets are busy. They won't respond for hours." They shared a moment of silence. The diffuse nebula was a sensor-blind region. Civilization's eyes dimmed there. Ships slipped through shadows. It was exactly the place to sneak an infiltration. And Earth Station Worldly Earth sat next in line for whatever might come. Mara said, "Prep a small interception team. We'll send 2 corvettes with stealth boosts and sensor mods. I want to shadow that signature. Find out what it is before it can strike." She paused. "I'll accompany you. Don't engage unless necessary. Observation first." Arik nodded, respect shining in his steady gaze. They worked with quiet precision. The station's slip-drive corridors and docking bays echoed with the soft vibrations of ships moving, crews waking, systems awakening. At last, the 2 corvettes, Endurance and Sable Wind, detached from the station. The larger ships were out in the Accord lines. These were small, fast, subtle. Through the nebula drift, the 2 craft wove with care. The sensor signature led them deeper. The sensor returns were weak and distorted, like a mirage. The blip flickered. Occasionally they lost it, then reacquired it further along, always heading toward human space. The tension lay not in overt danger but in the hush. To act too boldly could scare the prey. To be too timid might lose the chance. Mara sat in the command chair of Endurance, watching the screens. In the dim turquoise glow of nebular plasma, the alien vessel emerged, sleek, elongated, with slender wings and dark matte hulls absorbing stray photons. It projected no insignia. The ship's silhouette was unfamiliar. The corvettes eased closer, holding stealth mode until they had firm classification. Then the alien ship made a slight maneuver, a quiet, minor turn. The Endurance responded. In that instant, Mara felt a tug in her gut, a silent alarm. This was not a mere probe. Something primed itself. Raised shields on both corvettes to minimal, just to guard against stray particles, she said, voice calm. Keep engines suppressed. Let's shadow at 3 kilometers. Arik's voice crackled. They're adjusting course, sir, heading toward Earth's inbound trade lanes, possibly to intercept civilian traffic. Mara's mind spun. That suggested hostile intent, but she kept her tone quiet. We'll wait until we are closer. No sudden moves. Let the fleet in the distance maintain its schedule. They'll see nothing until we need them. She swallowed. They were vulnerable, but Earth demanded vigilance. They tracked the alien vessel for hours, slipping in and out of sensor shadows, always mindful of background noise. At times the ship loomed ahead, then drifted away, then reappeared. The corvettes strained to keep pace. Occasionally, Mara's console spat back fragments of encrypted bursts so faint they might be random static. But she felt they were hiding messages. The alien ship seemed to be leading them toward a hidden cluster of small moons in the fringe of human space. Classic tactic. Draw you in, isolate you, then act, she whispered to Arik. I think they want us alone. They don't expect Earth to retaliate. They expect us to run. She sounded calm, but inside a tight coil of tension twisted. But humanity was stubborn. Humanity was clever. Humanity had a habit of not fleeing when threatened, but of leaning into perception and surprise. She called in a faint hail, low power, masked as a civilian echo. Identify yourself. You are in Alliance territory. State your intent. No response. They approached the moons. Sensor returns flickered in and out. The alien ship vanished temporarily. The corvettes held position. Then a second signature appeared behind 2 more small ships, stealthy, flanking the first. Mara's heart tightened. It was a trap. The first ship was bait. The flankers would take them in a crossfire. But she held. She keyed a communication. Aurelia, this is Endurance. Possible hostile contact. Hold the station's shield protocols in ready mode, but do not fully engage. I repeat, no full engagement, unless I order it. She let the message fade. Then the 3 alien ships lunged in formation toward the corvettes. The flankers approached from sides. The leader aimed straight. Their speed increased. Mara and Arik braced. On her bridge, Mara inhaled slowly, then whispered, all stations, fire sensor nets. Intercept the flankers' engines with ion bursts at minimal power. Don't kill them. Just slow them. Use beam suppressors to avoid detection. We want them crippled, not destroyed. She leaned forward. Redirect secondary sensors to scan for holoresonance anomalies. See if we can detect hidden compartments or energy reservoirs. Arik tapped his screens. Ion nets in place. Proximity nets engaging flanker 1, drift negative 30% speed. Flanker 2, similarly. Their speed faltered. The leading ship, perhaps thinking it had advantage, surged ahead but then hit a subtle interference field Mara had triggered. It jittered, momentarily destabilized. The Endurance and Sablewind closed. Now, Mara whispered. She gave the go. Engage beam discipline, just quick bursts target their sensor arrays, their velocity control nodes. Disable, don't destroy. Soft beams pulsed. Ships shuddered. The flankers lost balance and drifted off course. The lead ship veered, trying to pull away, but then flanked itself between the 2 corvettes and the disable nets. In the dim, pale nebula light, the alien vessels drifted, wounded, sensors silence, engines crippled. Mara ordered, hold fire. Let's see who they are. Hail them now with open channel and full alliance code. She held breath. In the hush, static drifted. Then a voice crackled faintly. Why do you interfere? The alien voice was harsh, clipped, foreign but intelligible. This is Commander Mara Issel of the orbital station, Aurelia, Alliance of Worlds, she replied evenly. You have violated Alliance perimeter. State your identity. We, came the reply, hesitant, brittle. We are scouts from the Sarloth. We seek vengeance. We seek weakness. The voice wavered. Your world is lightly defended. Your fleet's overcommitted. We will feed on the remnants. Mara's pulse slackened. She nodded to Eric. Open a channel to the station. Have Diplomatic Corps listen. Let this be recorded. She allowed a moment's silence. Then she said to the aliens, You misjudge the Earth Alliance. We do not tolerate weakness. You will surrender your crew and your vessel, or be disabled permanently. The alien was silent. Then, meekly, We surrender. The corvettes closed in, used minimal tractor pulses to immobilize the alien ships. Teams boarded. Electronic locks flickered. Mara watched screens as corridors inside the alien ship glowed cold blue, doors parting, figures stepping out, hands raised. The boarding team sent live imagery. Thin, pale-scaled aliens, tense, fearful. Mara exhaled. The risk was real. The stakes had been high. But Earth's small ships had stood fast. Once the boarders secured the vessel, Mara contacted Aurelia. This is Mara. We have 3 Sarloth scouts. We'll tow them to the station. Prepare quarantine and interrogation. Also, alert the Accord fleets to our success. We may have more to reveal. She sat back. The nebula drift passed slowly, like curtains of smoke in a breeze. A glow in the viewport hinted at the station's shape. The subtle drama abated, but inside her, excitement and caution wove together. Over the next hours, the station processed the captured ships. The aliens refused to talk at first. They slid eyes, whispered threats. But Earth's interrogators, linguists, psychologists, engineers, chipped away with patience. They discovered that the Sarloth had stealth know-how that few had seen, and they had been probing human defenses for weaknesses. They believed humanity weak, sentimental, slow to react. They underestimated human drive. Meanwhile, the war fronts in the far zones raged. The Accord responded to Sarloth offensives, but was strained. Many worlds fell. The human fleets were little more than escorts and convoy guards. Mara sat in her quarters late that night, sipping weak tea. She reviewed intercepted logs. The Sarloth scouts had secret cloaking modules, emergency warp coils, and data fragments hinting at a planned assault on Earth's subsector. The war had come closer than anyone admitted. She looked at the stars beyond the viewport. She felt Earth's fragility, and she felt its strength. The resolve in the human heart. The resilience of a species that once crossed barren worlds, built civilizations from dust, endured plagues and wars, and still stood. If pushed, humans would resist. She resolved. If the galaxy would not take Earth seriously, she would show them why. In the hush that night, she drifted to sleep with the stars watching, alert, waiting. Morning came quietly. The orbital station's corridors hummed with activity. Soft footfalls, crew shifts. The prisoners were held in isolation. Interrogators prepared their schedules. Diplomatic envoys began arriving, requesting access, transcripts, meetings. Earth's small victory had become a ripple across the Alliance's political waters. Mara convened her senior staff in the command deck. Arik, the intelligence officer Lissa, the head of station security General Torvin, and a few liaison diplomats hovered around the central holoedipal. You all know the data from the captured ships, Mara began. They were scouts, but their systems are only parts of a larger plan. Their logs suggest that multiple squads will strike hidden supply nodes in nearby systems. Their target, cutting off Earth's reinforcement lines and isolating us so the main Sarloth fleet can invade without resistance. In short, they want to soften us first. Lissa nodded. We have confirmed 3 priority nodes likely to be hit within 72 hours. The Corquin jump gate, the Jessa supply line, and the Vanguard relay cluster. If they go dark, our resupply runs will halt. Torvin, a tall, calm veteran, said, Our station's defenses are modest. We cannot stop a full fleet head-on. But, corvette, patrol, sensor nets, yes. We can reroute support, but only if we act early. Mara's voice was firm. We will act early. I propose a deception plan. We pretend to be ambushed. We let the Sarloth think their infiltration already crippled us. We make them believe Earth is economically exhausted, weak, demoralized. And then, at the moment they strike, We reveal we have stockpiled reserves, hidden fleets, support from systems they did not suspect. We will catch them mid-result, turn their advantage into trap. In short, we fight fire with misdirection." Her staff listened, faces in half-light. They knew Earth's reputation: quiet, loyal, unthreatening. If the Sarloth believed that image, it was the perfect lie. Over the next day, they enacted the plan. The station began transmitting distress signals. Supply convoys reported lost nodes. Alerts went up across human subsector, some ships even withdrawing to more defensive positions. The Sarloth scouts were fed disinformation. The captured ships' communications were released after being scrubbed, emitting panic among human outposts. As predicted, the Sarloth responded aggressively. Their true assault force, sleek dreadnoughts, swarm frigates, stealth cruisers, rolled toward the nodes. Their scanners picked up what looked like compromised defenses, skeleton fleets, retreating convoys. They prepared to strike. Mara, in the station's war room, watched multiple views: inbound highways, jump gate corridors, sensor grids, fleet positions. Her corvette squadrons were poised, hidden behind unremarkable systems. Reserve human task forces lay in wait in backup corridors disguised by cosmic fog. When the first assault ships arrived at the Korkin gate, Earth's defenses flashed on, vulnerable and flickering, just long enough to lure them in. The Sarloth vessels advanced, confident, hostile beams engaging. Then, Mara gave the order. Suddenly, hidden sensor nets triggered. Ion bursts erupted across stealth corridors. Hidden human squadrons emerged from behind asteroids and nebular curtains. The Sarloth fleet's wings were ambushed. Side cruisers were disabled, their flanks severed. The main dreadnought tried to respond, but electromagnetic traps slowed its systems. Beam disruptors sapped its energy. The Sarloth were disoriented. Mara's voice, calm but resolute, echoed over comms. "This is Mara Issel of Earth Alliance. You underestimated us. You counted us out. You saw weakness. Now confront resolve." To the Sarloth fleet, "Surrender your assault or be eradicated piece by piece." She paused. "We will not annihilate your worlds, that is not our way, but we will defend ours." The Sarloth commander's voice, surprised, crackled. This is not possible. You were broke. You were down. We saw your supply lines dry. We heard your outposts fall." He was cut off by heavy pulses. The dreadnought groaned under pressure. Its shields flickered. The smaller Sarloth ships were being pinned. The human reserves, fighters, stealth corvettes, electronic warfare ships pressed the assault. They did not fire full missiles. They disabled, jammed, disrupted, carved the fleet's coordination. In the chaos, Mara's corvettes moved closer. She supervised boarding teams. In low corridors, the human teams boarded enemy vessels, severed control nodes, captured captains. The Sarloth fighters surrendered or drifted inert. The dreadnought's helm was overridden by human engineers injecting code hacks. Within hours, the Sarloth assault was broken. The nodes were saved, systems held. The retreating Sarloth ships fled across jump corridors, pursued by human escorts but mostly kept off. The Alliance's larger fleets were arriving. The skies shimmered with ion trails, disabled hulls, surrendered vessels drifting in formation. When the dust settled, Mara stood again on her bridge, the hollow table glowing with outlines of captured Sarloth ships. Allied fleets had begun to converge, congratulating Earth's corvettes. Diplomats requested immediate debriefs. The message lines of the galaxy buzzed. Earth, not so weak. Earth, not so quiet. But Mara did not exult. She looked at the viewport, at stars that had watched silently. She thought of the centuries humans had endured. Isolation, scarcity, conflict. She thought of home, of fragile Earth, of a species that never yielded under pressure. The galaxy might vilify, ignore, condescend, but humans had something the more powerful lacked: ingenuity in crisis, empathy to build alliances, stubborn resilience even at the brink of collapse. In private, she met with the Sarloth captains, now bound, in cold chambers. The Sarloth commander was defiant, proud, bewildered. Mara listened quietly to his threats, his disbelief. Then she said, "We did not win because you were weak. We won because we are human, because we cooperate, Because we improvise. Because we believe in preserving life, but also in defending it. You misjudged us. That will be your lasting mistake. He glared. She met his gaze. Allies came and took him away. Earth's forces cataloged ship designs, cloaking modules, war data. The galaxy now had a trove of human intelligence. But Mara's mind turned to the future. This battle was won, but the war was not ended. There would be reprisals. There would be new rivals. The peace would be tentative. In the weeks that followed, Earth's reputation changed. Where once humans had been marginal, now they were consulted, feared in mild respect, counted as serious players. Other species whispered that Earth's cunning was underestimated for too long. The Accord elevated Earth's fleet presence. Command positions opened. Diplomats who had once shrugged now took care. Yet beneath the shift, Mara felt an undercurrent of doubt. Did the galaxy accept Earth as it truly was, or as the version Earth had shown them in crisis? Could Alliance power adjust to a humanity that sometimes hid its strength until needed? Would opponents adapt, learn caution? She could not know. But she trusted one thing: the human spirit. Late one evening, back in her quarters on Aurelia, Mara sat near the viewport. The stars hung silent in the void. She touched a small Halloween photo on her desk, a quiet image of Earth's green continents, oceans, homes she had not seen in months. She closed her eyes. She felt exhaustion, relief, tension all mingling. A soft chime from her console announced an incoming message, encrypted, from deep in the unknown border sectors. She hesitated but opened it. The message was a fragment, a star map location, coordinates deep beyond mapped space, marked with a symbol she did not recognize. The signature, unknown. The body, one line, one phrase. We see you. Mara's heart lodged in her chest. She stayed still a moment. Then she leaned back, allowed herself to breathe. The reveal was done, the crisis averted. Yet a question remained, whispered across the midnight void. Who else is watching? Who else doubts Earth's limits? She leaned toward the viewport, gazing at starlight, allowing her mind to drift among possibilities. The galaxy was wider, deeper, stranger. But humans had just announced themselves not with war, necessarily, but with quiet strength, with cleverness birthed from empathy and necessity. She rose, walked to the viewport, and whispered to the stars, "We are here." Then she turned away, soft footsteps echoing, and allowed the hum of Aurelia to cradle her into sleep. Tomorrow, she would prepare for what came next.